So this is where we left off, and we're back to this today. So I actually want to do a little bit of programming now in an episode and just see if we can solve a few problems in terms of our combat processing. So there are two directions here. One is the fact that we're not really visualizing it at all. It would be cool to at least animate the sprites a little bit, right? So it's like maybe they like kind of bump each other or something along those lines, right? That's one thing. And of course, like we need facilities to do this sort of animation. And of course, eventually, like if this does get transitioned into actual sprites, like actual drawn sprites, you know, we might do some animation there. It would be kind of cool to have like Hotline Miami style skeletal animation of like, you know, upper body and lower body rotated on separate axes, or I guess just independently. So that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. So we sort of need some facilities for animation like that. For now, I think maybe just moving around, not to mention like even beyond animation itself, like kind of in the sense that it's a meaningless in-game thing that's just an indicator of something. Even just beyond that, you know, they kind of should move in fighting. Like, you know, he should like kind of step around a little bit, and the guy attacking should probably like move forward a little bit. And to be honest, that's pretty tough. I don't really know how to do that. I don't have an idea for that yet. Right? Kind of like how it is in Kenshi. But I think what it would be is maybe there is a bit of RNG involved in like the range, or like the distance at which they kind of approach each other. And then there would be a system that simply like tries maybe with a little bit of like a spring type of thing, where it doesn't just instantaneously move according to the other guy, but it's, you know, they're like, it's almost like if they're linked by a spring or something along those lines. So like if one guy kind of comes too close, the other guy steps away with a little bit of a delay to it, right? And they kind of do that back and forth type of thing. I think that could be, honestly, maybe that would be the first step, even beyond the animation stuff. And the other source of indication, right? The background color. We could indicate stuff with that, right? And of course, the other thing is some kind of floating text pop-ups of sorts. That would be pretty interesting too. But of course, all of that is pretty much visuals. Right now, the other problem is that we're simply not like we don't have any variation, anything like that. It's just a repeating cycle right now where none of them actually hit each other. So that could be its own thing as well. And I kind of think that that's what I'm going to work on today, not the visualization. Maybe later, but right now, I think let's focus on this sort of stuff, right? So this is what I'm thinking. And yeah, so I have this to-do note right here of a bunch of stuff. So maybe we could start adding interest to combat like that. But the other thing, of course, is that a defense can fail. Right now, a defense always succeeds as long as it's ready, but it could also fail. And it could fail because of RNG, or it could fail because of character stats. For example, the other guy is just way too strong, right? He, like, it doesn't matter if you put your sword in front, like, he just fucking smashes your head in anyways. Right? The other thing is that, you know, I kind of want it to be simulated in, like, kind of physically, at least in terms of intersections. I kind of want, at this point, right, when attack pre ends and we do this perform attack hit, at this point, I actually want to do an actual intersection, right? Like, it could be as simple as putting out a cone, like, or like a circle segment in front and intersecting that against the enemy, right? That could be its own thing as well. Right? So then it becomes kind of like, it adds even more of that kind of interest to this. That also can add stuff like, if there's multiple opponents, you could hit multiple opponents, right? I think that's more interesting. And also, if later we start doing sprites and skeletal animations and stuff like that, maybe that could actually be some kind of hitboxes, right? Like the sword can move around and such. All right, give me a sec. All right. So, okay. I think we can do that later. I think for now, let's just do the timing. Let's do the timing. And then I guess if we use RNG right now to determine whether attack or defense succeeds, we can, like, later replace those stages, instead of being determined by RNG, being determined by actual intersections in a, like, a physical world, sort of. So that's what I think. Okay. So I think that it could be on multiple levels. And I basically have a little wrapper around CRT random stuff. So it's kind of ass, but, you know, it gets the job done for now. So I basically want to do this perform attack hit, right? So success now is determined only through this. Only through this. And I think that's not enough, right? So we want to actually have a little chance. I actually have never tried. I always do like int ranges and then I check. Sorry, get random float. And then I check if it's, you know, equal to something or above something. But what if I do this in floats? It's kind of easier to think about. Right, so it's like if get random float is going to be 0 to 1 is greater than 0.2, so 80% chance, or I could say less than 0.8 for 80% chance, which makes it a bit easier also to reason about. So 80% to hit. Let's say something like that. Or rather even. Right, so this could be a little helper inline function. I guess I could call it this random chance. And then chance. And then I just do this. I guess with floats it doesn't matter, but I can just do this. Right, so we want 80% chance. Or should I even do this in percents? So like chance multiplied by 0.01. And then I do 80. And then becomes 0.8. Let's try it. Let's try it. I don't know if that's a good API, but let's try it. Okay. So that now allows us to either succeed or fail. So first of all, it has to be 80% chance to succeed at making an attack. So 80% chance the guy won't just miss, the attacker, right? But for the defender, we also can have chance. I guess we can do attack connects, or attacker succeeds. Right? And defender succeeds. Or maybe attacker hits, defender blocks. So whether defender can block will be determined by if they are in defense ready state and also by random chance, which I guess we can say 80% to block if they are ready. Right? And then success is going to be attacker hits and not defender succeeds. Or sorry, defender blocks. I guess might as well put this here. Right? And then we log that. Or we can log this here. So that we can actually, I guess we can do if attacker hits, or if attacker doesn't hit, we trace log that this guy misses this guy. And then else if, so attacker did hit, but defender blocks. I guess we can do that first. Hits this guy, and then, oh god. Else, so attacker did hit, and defender did not, or defender did block. We do da da da, but yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, so something like that maybe. But then what do we do with this? So that's our attack success that we take here. So either way, he's going to go into attack post, of course, right? Because he has to finish his swing. But in one case, what he does will differ from the other, or no? So I think I mentioned last time about kind of chains of attacks, right? So I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't really know sword fighting that well. I never really paid attention to it until I got interested in making a game like this. So from very little what I watched about sword fighting, this is what I kind of realized, is that, I mean, to be honest, maybe it's not a good description, but at least in some fights, it's like kind of, if you're attacking, you're gonna do like multiple attacks, and then it's gonna switch, right? And the way it switches, I was thinking, is through two ways. That either the defender interrupts the attack, right? Because he can either time it well, or like he does quick attacks, so he can interrupt his preparation of an attack of the other guy, right? Or once he successfully defends, he like performs a counterattack. He like sees some kind of vulnerability, some kind of weakness in the opponent's position, and performs a counterattack after he blocks. Right? That's what I was thinking. But now I'm not so sure. Like it's not that simple. Not to mention with the stamina stuff. Excuse me. With the stamina stuff, and such, that might also be what ends the chain of attacks. Okay. So I think let's try to let's use stamina. Let's just use stamina for now. So I think regardless of attack success or not, like maybe I don't even actually care about the about the result here. After that, I just go into attack post, blah blah blah. But what I can do is E, brain, combat, stamina. I don't know why that's in the brain, but I guess that's fine. We'll remove a bit from it. We could also make it dependent on delta, and that happens every frame, right? So we scale it with the delta of the frame, and every frame he is going to have a little bit of stamina removed if he's taking a swing or he's post swing. Like the truth is, pretty much everything removes stamina, whatever you do, even if you're like standing, pretty much. But I guess in some sense, it depends on what you mean by that. Like, if you're talking about doing like a heavy attack, compared to that, standing is kind of, you know, giving you some rest. Oh yeah. So I think let's not do it every frame, because we're talking kind of about an abstraction of stamina, right? Which is just supposed to limit your number of attacks that you can do. So I think what I could do is with every attack made, so in this place where we perform a hit, we remove a bit of combat stamina, but I think we also remove combat stamina on a defended attack. But less. So I guess we will have to do stuff every frame, but we kind of have to restore it every frame. I guess what I could do is, as I'm processing combat state for each entity, maybe before everything, and this is only called if we are in some combat state. So maybe we can just do here plus equals, oops, to delta times, I don't know, 10. So that would be 10 stamina per second. But I mean, let's do like 100 stamina per second. So I'm thinking limit stamina to 100. Okay. Restore in such a way though where you can very quickly, like as soon as you stop your chain of attacks, you pretty much restore it very quickly. But maybe not 1 second, maybe 10 seconds, maybe, what's that, 50 per second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, right? Something like that. Okay. And then that happens every time, but then on perform attack, let's actually do this in here. Whoa, what the hell did I copy? So attacker, either way, brain, combat, stamina. He either way gets some stamina removed. I guess 20, let's say. So that would pretty much limit that to 5 attacks, but with the restore rate more. And then for the defender, we can remove 10. I guess that actually doesn't depend on success. I brought it here because I thought we only do it if the defender blocks. Actually, that kind of does make sense. Like, if defender doesn't block, then he's already, you know, getting hit. He's already getting penalized. But attacker, yeah, either way, whether he succeeds or not, a failed attack needs to be punished, right? So, okay. And then, what do we do with that stamina? Oh my god, what did I remove? So this was... we go into post, state attack. Post for 1 second. Right? I think... So, okay, we go through post, so we go into combat state ready, and then we're taking a look at stuff, right? So, before I said that a defender switches from defending if he sees an attack ending. I think maybe we'll remove that. I think maybe we'll remove that. Maybe the thing here would be that if the other guy is in combat state, ready state, then we switch into defense post and we'll try attacking, right? Because basically the idea here will be that if we are in combat state ready, which means that we just finished attack post, I think this is still fine. But in addition to this, I think what determines whether we're doing the next attack is whether we have enough stamina. I guess if it's greater than 0, then we start attacking again. But so defender will stay in defense. So it's not enough for him to check that the other guy is in combat state ready. Because it might just be that he's going to start attack right there. So we can say here that I guess we could see that the opponent is low in stamina. I don't know. Is that cheating? I mean, it kind of isn't. because like he can see that basically like the thing here is that this state ready is kind of always this return state, right? And it's not it's kind of used for everything, right? So yeah, so if we had another state that was like, yeah. Okay, for now let's keep that. If we see that, then we go into that. And this guy, if his stamina is positive, he will start another attack. But if I see brain, opponent, brain, combat, stamina, if I see that my opponent doesn't have stamina, then I can start it. Oops, I can start attacking. And then if maybe I get rid of this for now. How do you? I don't remember how to comment on email. I recently switched back to emails. I'm still not happy pretty much with any text editor. All right, and I think I'll wrap it up soon. And I think maybe that's how I'll do it, is that I'll just record haphazardly 30 minutes, maybe every day, if I can do that. And then like I'll program more in between and just have those periodic episodes of programming on video. But let's do maybe like up to 35 minutes, let's say. So, okay, give me a sec. And if I see that my opponent is preparing an attack, I start defending. So I think this already can maybe give enough variation to this. Yeah. I'm just thinking like it's possible that we restore stamina too quickly where it won't be negative for long. And it won't be negative for long enough for this guy to see that his opponent is a negative. Like his opponent will just stay in this state because there's no valid other valid state for him to go into. But he will not. The other guy will not have enough time to register that he can be attacked. And I guess this doesn't also check the state of the other guy. So even actually before the other guy goes into here, he could still be in post attack. I already see that he's out of stamina, out of juice, and I start hitting him. I don't know. I mean, it kind of sounds interesting. But at the same time, now you're kind of questioning, because at this point, you don't know if your opponent, as he's finishing his swing, you don't quite know if he's going to go for another one, right? But either way, I think for now, this can maybe work. So let's rebuild. And let's run it. All right, so let's just take a look what happens here. Okay, so this guy seems to be blocking all the time. Okay, no, he hit once. Still in defense. Maybe I should log stamina. I could actually write down their stamina, not log it. That'll be better. That's why I got the whole UI shit, right? Let's do that. Let's... Oh my god. Emacs, come on. Do what I mean. So we do this, and I say stamina. It's a float. Let's just do 0.1f maybe. And E brain combat stamina. Da, 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 da. And we might have to extend our widget height. Yeah, it's very dirty for now, pretty much everything. But I do want to make a kind of little UI library-ish out of this. So like this stuff that is done automatically, and calculations for the sizes of widgets can be done automatically, stuff like that. All right. So one thing we can see is that I think we're gaining stamina too quickly. Also, we're not limiting the stamina to 100. But yeah, we're gaining too much. Let's see, process, combat. So let's reduce how much we gain, maybe to 10. But I guess that wasn't enough time for him to get out of defense. No, he would actually check that every time, every frame. So maybe something is wrong. But also I want to do this. Yeah, let's put this guy close to us, so I don't have to walk there every time. Yeah, pretty much. Although this is so ugly, I don't want to show that. There's no substance to the level. So let's actually move my guy closer. Maybe even like that. Oh, I think I don't set my camera properly. How do I do this? Generate level, and then... Oh, I hard code. But also this doesn't really make much sense anymore because I don't have this being tile-based. Level tile, pixel dimension, get pixel P from tile P. I think we just... Where do we update camera? Oh, I never even follow the player. Okay, let's just not worry about that. Let's just move it actually to where the player is. I'm gonna fix this later. Alright. Because with camera I also wanna like limit so you can't go out of bounds. Okay, now to the bug itself. And this is the last thing I'll do. So if the other guy is in combat state ready, oh, I see. So it still doesn't go enough too quickly because as soon as he goes post attack, maybe this is how we should do this. Is that it's only in specific states that your own stamina recovers. And maybe here we can actually determine the rate also. But for now, okay, let's just do equal. But I'm not going to recover in attack pre or post. In defense pre or post, but in defense ready, and in combat state ready, we'll recover it. Maybe I'll do a little function here also. I guess this would only be for recovered stamina. F32 pointer, stamina, rate, and delta. And I do stamina plus equal to rate times delta if stamina is greater than 100, then stamina equals to 100. All right. You know what? Let's do a different rate. Why not? Let's just do that. That seems pretty cool. So it seems that it flickers there, right? It's because it goes into ready for one frame after defense post. So he is still deciding to go into defense pre after that. Yeah, for some reason. I guess because he's doing attack pre. So the problem is actually this guy is also only going for one frame and immediately starts attacking again. So this is unlikely to be the case because the opponent, yeah, I don't think the opponent is ready on the same frame. Oh, because he sees that the opponent is negative. Everyone is negative stamina. I guess no one is recovering stamina fast enough. Or rather, I think how does defense guy lose stamina? I don't know, maybe increase this. Maybe a 10 here and 15 here. The problem is, even if I do get this to work with tweaked values, it's not going to be good enough because we don't want to, like, we want that to be determinable by stats, and we pretty much want at least a good range of stats to be valid, right? But okay, so this guy is ready for more frames now, but he still returns to attack pre. And the question is why? Because see, this guy goes into ready for one frame and now they do match. And so because this guy has higher initiative, as soon as that happens, he takes the initiative and starts another attack. Which is fine, But I guess maybe this is completely redundant now, actually, because we already are saying that if I have positive stamina, start attacking. But the problem is for that initial, for the beginning of combat, that will be determined basically by the order of entities in entity store, which we don't really want, right? We want that to actually be determined by like in-game stuff. And actually, I think this will change it so that the player character, because he's added first, the player character is going to be the one attacking first then. Excuse me. Oh god, it's 46 minutes. All right, let me just finish this one thing. You know what? I think this is fine. This is fine. Let's just see if it's gonna lead to some interesting results. Aha. All right, so now they're flipping. Okay, but I think another problem is that they are going into attack even though they have no stamina. So I'll have to fix that. But also we can see here that, you know, we also get hits. Sometimes we get blocks. I never saw misses though. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's but misses. All right, I think let's stop here. And I'll work on this more off camera, and then I'll come back with more stuff. All right, cheers.